Good morning, friends. Starting with chemical kinetics. Chemical kinetics, as the name is indicating kinetics. Kinetics means what? Kinetics is something moving. So in chemistry, what it can move is that we are talking about the speed of a reaction. So it is movement. Kinetics means movement or something moving, and chemical kinetics means we are talking about the reaction. So what is chemical kinetics? Chemical kinetics is a branch of chemistry which deals with the rate of a reaction, the factors affecting rate of reaction. All these are the part of chemical kinetics. So here we are starting with the speed or the rate of the reaction. The first topic which we are starting with here in this chapter is rate of a chemical reaction. Rate of a chemical reaction. What does it mean, rate of a chemical reaction? Like at what speed the reaction is taking place. Now how can we measure the speed? If it is a vehicle, we can measure the speed by having a speedometer in that. But for a chemical reaction, this is not the case. How can we measure the speed of a chemical reaction? It can be measured in terms of change in concentration of reactants or products. If the concentration of reactants is decreasing with time, it means the reaction is taking place, and how much is the decrease, in what duration, will be giving us the rate of a chemical reaction. So rate of a chemical reaction is what? How do we define it? It is decrease in concentration of reactants per unit time, or we can define it in terms of products also, or we can say it is increase in concentration of products per unit time. So either decrease or increase in concentration per unit time is what is the rate of reaction. So rate of decrease in concentration of reactants, or you may say that rate of increase in concentration of product. Any of these two can be taken. Now if say we are taking a reaction where R is the reactant converted to the product. Say at time t1. T1 is what? T1 is the initial time. Say at time T1, initial time, the concentration of the reactant is, say it is R1, and concentration of product, say it is P1. After some time, say at T2, the concentration of reactant is R2 and the concentration of product is P2. So how do we determine the rate of reaction for this particular reaction? We can do it like this, that is rate is equal to, rate of reaction is equal to decrease in concentration of R divided by time taken for that decrease. Now we know that decrease in concentration of R means if R1 is the initial concentration and R2 is the final concentration. So how will we calculate it? We will say that final concentration minus initial concentration divided by T2 minus T1, or you may write it as that is delta R divided by delta T. And it will be with a negative sign. Why will it be with a negative sign? Because we know that initially the concentration is higher. R1 will always be higher because the concentration of reactant is maximum initially. And as time passes, because reactant gets converted to products, that is why the concentration of reactant will decrease. That is why R2 is always smaller. R2 will always be smaller. So if we do R2 minus R1, then definitely this delta R is coming out to be negative. Or you may understand it in this way also, that this negative sign is representing that this is a decrease always. So that is why it is represented with a negative sign. Now what about in terms of products? The other way of writing the rate of reaction for the same reaction is, it may be increase in concentration of product divided by the time taken, or we may write it as, that is P2 minus P1 divided by T2 minus T1, or it can be delta concentration of P divided by delta T. So this is what, this is the rate of reaction. That's how we can express the rate of a chemical reaction in terms of reactants or in terms of products. Now this is what, this is the average rate of reaction. Why are we taking average rate of reaction? Because the rate of reaction will never be constant. Initially, when the concentration of reactants is maximum, at that time the rate of reaction will also be maximum. As concentration of reactant decreases, the rate of reaction will also decrease. So it is never ever same. So we can take the average rate of reaction. How can we take average rate of reaction? This can be taken like when time t is equal to 0, at that time say the concentration is R1, and when time t is 10 minutes, after 10 minutes say the concentration is R2. So what will be the average rate of reaction for these 10 minutes? It will be R2 minus R1 divided by T2 minus T1, or you may say R2 minus R1 divided by 10 minus 0. So for this entire 10 minutes interval, we got the average rate of reaction. So I think we are clear about it, that why do we take average rate of reaction? Average rate of reaction is taken because the rate of a particular reaction is never ever constant throughout. So that is why we need to take the average. And how do we take average? We always take a particular time interval. So initially at that particular time, what is the concentration of reactant or product, and after the given time interval, what is that concentration of reactant or product, and then we apply it final concentration minus initial concentration divided by the final time minus initial time, and that is how we can find out the rate of reaction. In terms of reactants, it will always come out to be negative. Why will it be negative? Because the final concentration of reactant will always be lesser than the initial concentration. As the concentration of reactant gradually decreases, or the reactants may get converted to product. So that is how we can find out the average rate of reaction. It can be done by plotting a graph also. Like say for example, we take concentration of reactants along this axis. The square bracket is representing the concentration, square bracket R. It means we are taking concentration of reactant along this axis, and along this axis we are taking time. So time. Now we know when time t is 0, at that time the concentration of reactant is maximum. As time t passes, then the concentration of reactant decreases. So that is how the graph or the curve will be. Now say if we want to take the average rate of reaction, what we will do, say this is our initial time, say it is T1. So at T1, what is the concentration of reactant? We will measure that with the help of this curve. And then at T2, what is the concentration? T2, what is the concentration of reactant? So this is what, this is R1, this is R2. You can see here that R1 is larger than R2. R1 is greater than R2. That is why this R2 minus R1 divided by T2 minus T1 will be with a negative sign. It should be with a negative sign. Negative delta R divided by delta T. So that is how we can express the average rate of reaction. Now what about the in terms of products? Say if we are taking this curve, along this axis we are taking time, Along this axis we are taking concentration of products. Then when time t is 0, the concentration of product is also 0. As time t increases, the concentration of product also increases. So that kind of curve we will be getting. Now here, if we are supposed to take the average rate of reaction in terms of products, then how will it be? It will be, say this is time t1. At this time, what is the concentration of product that can be taken, will be measured? So it is P1. And say at time t2, the concentration of product became like this. So this is our P2. So P2 minus P1 divided by T2 minus T1, or delta concentration of P divided by delta T. This is what? This is rate of reaction. And here in terms of products, it will come out to be positive. Why will it be positive? Because we can well observe P2 is greater than P1. So that is how we can find out the rate of a reaction as well as the average rate of reaction. Now what will be the units of rate of reaction? Units, rate of a chemical reaction. What will be the units? Units will be, we know what is rate. Rate is equal to change in concentration divided by change in time. And what are the units for concentration? It is mole per liter. And what is the unit of time? Time is, it may be second inverse or whatever. So that is how, what will be the units of rate of a chemical reaction? Rate of a chemical reaction will be having units, that is mole per liter per second. So these will be the units of this rate of a chemical reaction. Now we are starting with the next, that is instantaneous rate of reaction. Right now whatever we did was the average rate of reaction. Now we are doing instantaneous. Now what does it mean, instantaneous rate of reaction? What do you mean by instantaneous rate of reaction? We are talking about, till now we were doing over a time interval. Over a time interval, what is the rate of reaction? Now we are doing at a particular instant of time. Say for example, if I want to measure the rate of a reaction at 10th second after the start of a reaction, or at 10th minute after the start of the reaction. So that will, at 10th minute means what? It is at that particular instant. So that becomes the instantaneous rate of reaction. So how do we find out the instantaneous rate of reaction? Instantaneous, what is the difference between average rate and the instantaneous rate? Average rate we did, we are representing that rate by R. So R, small letter r, so R average is equal to minus delta concentration of R divided by delta T, or it may be delta concentration of P divided by delta T, any of these way. So this is what? This is the average rate of reaction. Now I am talking about the instantaneous rate of reaction. As I told you that average rate of reaction is over a period of time, while it is at a particular instant, say at the 10th second. So at the 10th second after the start of reaction, or at 10th minute of after the start of reaction, so that at that particular instant, so there delta T tends to be 0, means there is no time interval, or time interval is 0, no time interval. We are talking about a particular instant of time. So how do we represent the instantaneous rate of reaction? R instantaneous will be equal to minus D concentration of R divided by dt, or it will be D concentration of P divided by dt. So that is how we can find out the instantaneous rate of reaction. Now what this D stands for? D is what? D is an infinitesimally small change in the concentration or in the time, because time delta T tends to be 0. There is no interval of time, it is a particular instant of time. So if it is a particular instant of time, then the change in time cannot be taken. We are taking it as a very small change in time. It's almost negligible, infinitesimally small change in time. So that is why we are taking it as dr. D is what? It is an infinitesimally small change in the concentration of reactant or product or time. So that is how we can do it. Now what if the reaction is like this, if the reaction is like this, that is A moles of A react with B moles of B to give C moles of C and D moles of D. Now, how do we represent the rate of reaction for this particular reaction? Reaction may be represented in terms of reactants or in terms of products. So, if we represent in terms of reactants, we all know that because concentration of reactant decreases, that is why it will be represented with a negative sign. So, minus delta. Now one of the reactant is A, concentration of A divided by delta T. Now what to do with this A, with this stoichiometric coefficient? What to do with it? It will be going in the denominator. So what will be the expression? It will be minus 1 upon A upon delta T, or it can be like this, minus 1 upon B delta change in concentration of B divided by delta T, or it can be in terms of products also. In terms of products, it will be represented with a positive sign, that is why it will be 1 upon C delta capital letter C divided by delta T, or it can be in terms of products also, so 1 by D delta D divided by delta T. So that is how we can represent the rate of a chemical reaction for this type of reaction. Now this was just an example. Let's take another example. Say for example, we are taking 2HI gas converted to H2 gas plus I2 gas. Say we are taking this reaction. Now here how do we represent the rate? Rate will be equal to minus 1 by 2. Why minus sign? Because we are writing it in terms of reactant. And why 1 by 2? Because 2 is the coefficient here, so that is why it will go in denominator. So minus 1 by 2 delta concentration of HI divided by delta T, or it can be in terms of hydrogen also, that is delta concentration of H2 divided by delta T, or it will be delta I2 divided by delta T. So that is how we can represent the rate of reaction in terms of reactants or products, as well as the instantaneous rate of reaction. Now how do we measure the instantaneous rate of reaction? It can be measured by taking the slope, or by drawing a tangent in the curve. Say for example, if we take this curve, if we are taking this curve, this is the reactant and time, concentration of reactant and time curve. Now in this particular curve, if we want to measure the rate of reaction at this particular moment, say for example, we want to measure the rate of reaction at this particular moment, instantaneous rate of reaction. So what we will do is, we will draw a tangent to the curve. So by drawing the tangent to the curve, we will draw the tangent to the curve, and after drawing the tangent, we will take the slope like this. So here it became a right angle triangle, and then by taking the ratio of the two arms, we can find out the instantaneous reaction, rate of reaction. You can say the rate of reaction at that particular instant of time. So that is how we can do it. Now the next is factors affecting rate of reaction. What are the various factors affecting rate of reaction? Factors affecting rate of a chemical reaction, starting with the next topic. Now what are the various factors which affect the rate of reaction? The first factor is, that is concentration. Concentration of reactants. Concentration of reactants, does it affect the rate of reaction? Yes. Initially when the concentration of reactant is higher, then the rate of reaction will also be higher. So rate of a chemical reaction is directly proportional to the concentration of reactants. It is directly proportional to concentration of reactants. Then the next is temperature. The next factor which affect the rate of a reaction is temperature. How temperature affect the rate of reaction? Greater is the temperature, greater will be the rate of reaction. So rate of reaction is directly proportional even to rate of reaction is directly proportional even to temperature also. That greater is the temperature, greater will be the rate of reaction in most of the cases, with few exceptions. exceptions. It is not true always, but yes, most of the times it is like this only. Higher is the temperature, more will be the rate of reaction. Then next is catalyst. Presence of a catalyst. Does it affect the rate of reaction? Yes. If the catalyst is used, then definitely the rate of reaction will be increased, except then the poisons, or except then few catalysts which will be having adverse effect, which will be acting as inhibitors. So catalyst, most of the times, catalyst generally increases the rate of reaction. Increases the rate of a reaction, except then poison or inhibitors. Then next factor, that is nature of reactants. Yes, nature of reactant is another factor which affect the rate of reaction. Like if we take one example, if we take the burning, or you can say the oxidation of carbon monoxide and oxidation of NO, that is nitric oxide, both appear same. This is CO, this is NO, appears same. But if you see, when we do their reaction with oxygen, or when we take them in the presence of oxygen, then this reaction will take place at a faster speed. This is a fast reaction, while this is quite slow reaction. The product obtained here will be NO2, here it will be CO2. So that is how the nature of how, so why the reaction rate of reaction is different, that is because of the different reactants taken. So it depends, the rate of reaction depends upon the nature of the reactants also. Then next factor which affect the rate of reaction, that is surface area. Surface area of reactants. Greater is the surface area, greater will be the rate of reaction. Greater is the surface area. Why is it so? Surface area, more will be the rate of a chemical reaction. Why is it so? Why the rate, or you can say why surface area affect the rate of reaction? Because surface area means what? Say if we are taking a lump of something, or if we are taking a piece of iron. Now here the atoms of iron, whatever are present at the surface, only are exposed for the reaction. But when we make the powder of it, say for example we made the powder out of it, so after making the powder, now the greater number of molecules are exposed. So with increase in surface area, greater number of reactant molecules are exposed. Greater number of reactant molecules are exposed for the reaction. That is why rate of reaction increases with increase in surface area. So all these are the factors. One more factor you may consider, what it is, that is the exposure to radiation, or you can say presence of radiation. Some of the reactions which do not take place in dark, but that happens in presence of sunlight. So these type of reactions are called as photochemical reactions. So this type of reactions, like H2 plus Cl2, it will be giving 2HCl. This reaction take place in presence of sunlight. So that is how we can have the criteria, or you can say the factors affecting rate of reaction. It may be the concentration of reactants, it may be the temperature, it may be the catalyst, it may be the nature of reactant, or the surface area, or we may take the radiation's presence also. So all these are the factors affecting rate of reaction. Thank you.